Have you ever wondered what keeps a utility CEO awake at night? The answer to that question might not be obvious to you, but the answer is you. During a power outage, the amount of time it takes to restore power to your house and turn the lights back on is such a critical task and a huge challenge for all utilities worldwide. My name is Mohammed Abdul Rahim. I am the Sales and Marketing Manager for ABB cutouts, disconnect switches, fuses, and sectionalizers. I'm here today to demonstrate to you the use of isolation switches to minimize the outage duration and to reduce and minimize the number of customers affected during an outage. During an outage, the source detects the fault, it protects itself, it shuts down, and blacks out the entire neighborhood. The utility is notified, crews are dispatched, they get out to the site, they find the fault, they repair it, then restore power to the entire network. Having switches at every node of that network would allow the utility to get out there, identify the fault, isolate the fault instead of repairing it, restore power to all the other community that is not directly affected by the fault, repair the fault, and then restore power to the area affected originally. This now helped them minimize the number of customers affected by this outage and reduce the duration of time for those people that were indirectly affected by it. Second step on the second scenario would be to automate these switches. Can you imagine actually if the utility is able to remotely identify a fault or detect a fault, remotely isolate that section of the network that is directly affected by the fault, remotely restore power to the rest of the community, dispatch the crews out there, get the fault repaired, and then simply restore back power to that small section. Now we have accomplished two things: reduce the duration of the outage and minimize the number of customers affected by it. Now I'll be demonstrating the ease of opening a switch or closing a switch in a field in order to isolate or restore. Utilities crews would come out. It's as simple as opening up a door, a couple of push buttons. By pushing one button, you can see that the switch would open up, allows them to get out, repair the fault. The switch shows a visible break. That is a huge safety feature where you are able to tell that this has been opened, it is isolated, and it's safe to work downstream. Once the fault is repaired, another push of a button would close in the switch and restore power back to the community. We can do the same thing remotely. It reduces the amount of time it takes to do any restoration or any isolation. An operator looking at his screen can detect a fault out in the field. By a push of a button, he is able to bring up the switch, actuate the switch to an open position, verify that there is no power in the network. Once the repair is done in the field, they come back in, and another push of a button, they can restore back the network, and everybody's back with the lights on. The most important takeaway from what we have demonstrated today is using isolating switches in a network minimizes the number of customers affected by an outage. Automating these switches further reduces the amount of time it takes to restore an outage.